but I really enjoyed it. It was very restful.
What?
Can't remember what it is.
All right. We'll call this evening's Planning Commission to order, and we will start with an invocation by Jeff Gilbert.
Let's bow our heads. Dear Lord, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the ability to gather here tonight to do this business. May what we do here tonight be pleasing in your sight. In your name, amen.
Amen. All right, looking over to the approval minutes from February 2nd, 2021. Was last meeting. Did I see anything on there to be changed? Here none. Would someone like to make a motion they be approved?
Motion they be approved.
Ron seconds. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? All right. So, any addenda to the agenda, Jeff?
Sir, nothing else?
All right. So we'll move on to the public hearings, and we will start with AS 2101.
The applicant is proposing annex and zone to PDD Planned Development District, approximately 323 acres of land located generally along Williamson Road Plantation. On the map here, you have Williamson Road 29 here, Plantation Road cuts through the property here. The annexation area currently consists of one parcel separated into 3 sections by the roads. The applicant is seeking to develop a single subdivision on the property. The property is contiguous to the city at multiple locations. Here, touch the city in several spots. The subdivision is not zoned in the county. Surrounding properties are zoned PDD Development District, R Single Family, RD and RM10 Family, and NC Neighborhood Commercial in the city, and R20 Single Family, and additional with those on adjacent county properties. The are currently vacant. Surrounding uses include single-family residential, apartments, and commercial uses. This is the planned development district, and so there is a document that is associated with it. A copy of it is included in your packet. The proposed plan is single-family PDD and is divided into 4 pods of land for development. This document establishes the development standards for each pod, types of residential units, lot width, setbacks, number of units, materials, landscaping and screening, all included in the contents of the document. In addition, requirements, common areas, sidewalks, etc., are outlined in the PDD document. Per the Anderson's Pdd Guidelines, at least 10% of the development consists of open space. Pod 1, color doesn't come through. This is green section here, basically everything south of Williamson Road. It permits a maximum of 128 single-family lots, 45.67 acres of land, or 2.8 units per acre. Lots will have a minimum size of 5,000 square feet, and again, a minimum of 10% of the pod must be dedicated to space. Pod 2 is located out in the corner, blue, that's the big blue section on the map. It permits a maximum of 265 family lots on 164.86 acres of land, or 1.6 units per acre. Lots will have a minimum lot size of 5,000 square feet. Again, a minimum of 10% of the pod dedicated open space. Pod 3 is the northern section here, this gold section. Permits a maximum of 150 single-family lots on 65.66 acres of land, 2.1 units per acre. Again, same lot size, space supply. And then pod 4 would be the pink section here. Again, permit maximum of 158 single-family lots on 46.4 acres of land, or 3.4 units per acre. Lots will have a minimum size of 5,000 square feet, and again, 10% of the pod must be dedicated open space. The developer must submit a preliminary plat for each pod based on Pdd guidelines, so you will see this again as sections come up for approval, and that to be approved by the Planning Commission before development commences. Other considerations, there have been some discussion about widening Williamson Road to 5 lanes. If this proposal moves forward, it may require the state to acquire additional road right-of-way along Williamson Road. We are requesting that developer take this into consideration when laying out those improvements in the lot property. I was unable to clearly tell how wide the right-of-way there. We had two sources that came up with numbers, so I'm not sure exactly how much right-of-way is out there, but as they get into engineering and the layout process, we just want them to keep that into consideration. The city also uses this corridor as an entrance into the city that we would like to see beautified and made more welcoming. Landscaping plans for the road frontage should be coordinated with the city to ensure that the proposed improvements complement any work being done by the city on the entranceway. The staff is recommending the request. This area is within the boundaries of the city's water and sewer service area, and is also within range of the provision of city services such as police and fire protection. Essentially, already served areas very close to this location. With that, I'm happy to answer any questions. Staff, applicant, and engineer are present tonight as well. One other thing we'll report is there are 3 public notice signs out there. I've received a total of 3 phone calls. None of them objected to the development, and so that's the totality of what I've heard from the public on this. So, again, with that, I'm happy to answer any questions you have for staff.
Okay. I don't know if you can answer this for me. We'll wait for the applicant, but pod 2 and pod 3, so the blue and yellow on there, the dotted line where what you were talking about, where they can't really, it's unusable.
Right here, that's the floodplain line.
Mm-hmm.
And he may have an exact number, but of the 323 acres, about 100 acres of it is floodplain and not developed.
Okay.
So if you think of it as more of a cluster development, preserving the sensitive areas of the property and concentrating the development in the buildable area, over the total acreage, it comes out to just a little over 2 units per acre when you factor in the type of the property.
Okay. And then so floodplain, that's part of that 10%.
Right. It's going to be greatly in excess of 10% open space over the whole property.
Okay. All right.
Now, when we look at it, we're going to look at a minimum of 10% per pod. Even what we have talked about so far, we should not have any problems with that.
Okay. Any other questions for staff?
I'm sorry, go ahead. I was just going to follow up. That 10% won't be taken out of the green sector, won't be considered green sector. Is that what you're saying?
So, green pod 1 will have 10% open space.
Right.
Pod 2, pod 3, pod 4, each individual section or tract, pod, whatever you want to call it, has to maintain a minimum of 10% in that section. And so, and like I said, what we've talked about so far, it does not appear that there's any meeting requirement.
Okay.
I think, overall, and the whole, obviously, it'll be in excess of that. So.
Contractors going to be.
The engineer, which is Paul here behind us, I have no information on builders, anybody at this point. So.
I can ask him.
Yeah.
They may have that information, but I don't have any, Sheriff. So.
Jim, what is RG?
RG residential general, and the only piece of property in the whole city actually has the zoning. It's, I believe it's called, it used to be Cedar Ridge. I think it's changed to The Ridge. It allows single-family duplex and mobile homes. And so really it's the only property in the city that allows new mobile homes except for Mimosa Home Park down. It's grandfathered in. So it's a multifamily district that also allows the mobile homes.
In that area right there, what is actually in there? Single-family homes or is it mobile?
It's a mixture of single-family mobile homes. We've dealt with it a number of times over the years. Started off as mobile homes mostly. We had a developer come in and build a number of stick-built single-family homes. So it's sort of a mixture at this point.
Any other questions for staff? All right. Hearing none, we'd like to, if the applicant would like to step forward, and we'd like to ask you some questions.
Good evening. My name is Paul Harrison with Blue Water Civil Design. civil engineers for the site, but the applicant is also here,
Okay.
Howard, with black string.
All right. Well, Dave, I'll let you ask your question. I think.
Contractors for this project.
You mean the
The builders.
Yeah, are we far enough along?
we don't, or the applicant does not contracts in place at this time, but it would be a national type building.
So really all set in stone is what the parameters would be, or, because it really just talks about exterior building, hardwood brick. Is that wondering about?
Yeah, and, you know, just be a rent builder or come in and throw it out and gone and you can't do anything.
Well, Josh, yeah.
Josh Howard. The builders we typically work with, definitely reputable builders. These are not, they have established positions within the upstate, doing a ton of building with the upstate. These are the ones, we just do not have a contract in place for now.
Okay.
We're probably looking at more than one. Both of them very, very reputable in the upstate.
Okay, yeah.
Any other questions for staff or applicant? None. Would someone like to make a motion on this? So moved. Follow staff's.
I'll second.
All right. Hearing, any other conversations on it? None. Motion is that we approve annexation and Pd. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, have it. So this will go in front of the council.
Excuse me, on May the 24th, because Monday is a holiday, and so there's a council meeting.
All right.
So,
All right. So moving along, RZ 1701, 312 Sears.
the applicant to rezone the property at 312 Sayre Street from light industrial to GC General Commercial. The property is a former home of a garage. The applicant is seeking to use the property for an auto repair business and a car lot. They've done a lot of work here to clean up the building. It was in a disrepair. They've been in there for several years now as their auto repair business, and they want to expand auto, which would be on this portion of the property here. The property is currently zoned LI Light Industrial. Surrounding properties are the combination of RM10 multifamily, LI Light Industrial, and HI Heavy Industrial. The industrial district does not allow for the proposed use of the property for automotive sales. In order for the property to be used for this purpose, it must be rezoned. The general commercial district is a district that allows auto sales, and we consider this zoning industrial down to commercial. In terms of existing land use, the property garage is being used as an auto repair center now. Surrounding uses include a mix of single-family, commercial, and industrial use. Future land use map, comprehensive plan covers this area industrial. This is consistent with the LI industrial and HI heavy industrial zoning districts. And we do consider this a down zoning of the property. The applicant has done a good job cleaning up the property and has been using the garage at this location for several years now. Staff recommends approval of this request. Happy to answer any questions you have for staff, and the applicant is tonight as well.
All right, first question.
No call.
Okay. If we were to kind of downgrade it to general commercial, would it still be able to be used as a garage, or are we losing that? Okay.
General commercial allows automotive service station, just talks about work having to be done inside a completely enclosed building, so the bay doors, the garage, and so I believe everything they're doing there now would still be allowed in general commercial. And
So even if they
that
sold
is
the
their
property?
intention, to keep the service center there, and just add the auto sales to that.
Okay. Any other questions for staff? Have any questions for the applicant? All right, hearing none, would someone like to make a motion?
I move.
Ron, second. Carl, second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. We'll consider it approved.
Again, this will go to City Council for first reading on the 24th.
All right, and having their addenda to the agenda, we will consider ourselves adjourned. Thank you for coming.